right, now let's get on to another chapter of a conversation that we're bringing to you. It's so exciting because we're looking at Ghana through the lens of a German intern. Jeremiah Brunner is an intern in the JoyNews room, originally from Germany. Jeremiah, as he's affectionately called, Jeremy, had some misconceptions about Ghana, and it's not new. A lot of people do. Like, we live on trees. Some people still believe that Africans live on trees. Yeah. And, you know, like, we do all sorts of things. And we are extremely poor, you know, like poor. So he came to Ghana with his own misconceptions, Roland. And he's seen and he's decided to bring us from his perspective.
Yeah. So that's it. This piece in the eyes of a German, Jeremiah or Jeremy Brunner.
When I arrived in Ghana for the first time, I was overwhelmed. I was 18 years old, just finished the senior high school in Germany and came to this country to volunteer for the Ghanaian NGO Theatre for Social Change. I came heavily packed. In my bag were, amongst others, a bulk of medical supplies for all cases, a mosquito net against malaria, a belt with a zipper on the inside to hide my money from thieves. Not in my bag, decent clothing. As part of my volunteer program, I have been sensitized for stereotypes about Africa in a preparatory seminar. I learned that Africa is a culturally diverse continent with 54 countries, 1.2 billion inhabitants. I learned that according to the International Monetary Fund, Africa contains 5 out of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world. But despite learning all of that, the content of my bag represented the subconscious image of Africa I was carrying in my head. Diseases, malaria, criminality. A lot of time when Ghana makes it into German news, it's about electronic waste. Recently, I was on a German Ghanaian festival about digital issues. It made it into the most popular German news. And where did one of the German news team go for the future? To the dump of Aquabloshi.
Auch eine Fundgrube, die herum eine florierende Industrie entstanden ist. Ausrangierte Computer werden in unzähligen Repair-Shops.
The issue is not that these stories are untrue. Yes, there is a huge problem of pollution through electronic waste in Aquabloshi. Yes, there are problems of sanitation, especially in Accra with its choked gutters. Yes, there are diseases like cholera and malaria in Ghana. But there's also the Ghana with an emerging middle class and a rapidly growing economy that rises the interest of international businesses. There's also the Ghana that shines by its well-established democracy and a vivid public political debate. The Ghana that, according to Reporters Without Borders, scores high in terms of press freedom. Placed 23 worldwide, even before the press of Spain, France and the United Kingdom. And the Ghana that does not consist only of people relying on charity, but has also banks who themselves give donations to the less privileged. But most important, most things in Ghana are simply like in my home country in Germany. Perfectly normal. The famous Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie summarizes the dilemma of prevalent Africa stereotypes.
The single story creates stereotypes, and the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story. Of course, Africa is a continent full of catastrophes, the immense ones such as the horrific rapes in Congo, and depressing ones such as the fact that 5,000 people apply for one job vacancy in Nigeria. But there are other stories that are not about catastrophe, and it is very important, it is just as important to talk about them. The consequence of the single story is this: it robs people of dignity. It makes our recognition of our equal humanity difficult. It emphasizes how we are different rather than how we are similar.
You're misunderstood, you can't be misunderstood. You're so clear, I'm your Frank Underwood. Your needs I won't undermine, never put them under mine.
On my first visit to Ghana, I brought medicaments because I didn't know that there were a lot of pharmacies here. I brought a special mosquito net because I didn't know I can get them everywhere in Accra. I brought a special belt to hide my money because I was afraid of thieves. When I come to Ghana today, I leave those things home. Instead, I bring my decent clothes because I know dressing well is appreciated.
Faith, no faith in apes, a basic case of faith in something great, but still, from 6 to 6 with stones and bricks, are building a future.
When I'm asked by my German friends to talk about Ghana, I first start with a preamble. What I tell can always be only one story, told out of a certain perspective. Mostly, it will be biased on the fact that I spent most of my time in Accra, and by the kind of friends I have. There is no one picture of this wonderful country. There are only perspectives. And they are as many as people that ever talked about this country.
Oh, that brings into perspective
Amazing.
issues of many
Amazing.
things, stereotyping.
Yeah.
I think I
The
love
thing
this
that
piece.
Jeremy didn't share with you in that piece is the fact that he speaks Chi as well.
Yeah, and he has a Ghanaian girl.
Hey, Roland.
Shopping free.
So Jeremy is an intern in the Joy Newsroom from Germany, and that's his piece that he's sharing with us. This is rare. We hardly get people sharing their stories with us, especially the misconceptions, you know, when you're coming to Africa, you're coming to Ghana, all the things that you are imagining because of what you've heard.
Can imagine.
You know, when people come and experience it and they share it, we're excited.
We still wear, you know, sack clothing with yarns woven out of raw cotton to make udin.
Oh my God. Oh, I am so happy. Okay, you're watching the AM show. Show business brought to us courtesy Awake Purified Drinking Water. And today we had an interaction with Diana Hamilton, who's got her experience happening this weekend. We hope that you've enjoyed every bit of our show. We still have a few things to do before we wrap up, so stay with us.